Hi everyone, welcome back to SSTT Shitty Stories Telling Time. Today we will talk about another Italian guy. Oh, I even had to check my notes because I was writing down all his shitty behavior because I wanted to post online about his behavior so no one could rent this room from him. Okay, so he's the maintenance of the second flat I was staying when I was in Italy. Let's give him C. Okay, where should I start? Let's start with the beginning. Okay, so in the beginning, I was searching for a room and I found this one online. So I went to the viewing. In the end of the interview, he was touching my hand like this, saying, "Oh, don't worry, we find you a room now," which is pretty disgusting. He said he could give me a lift back to where I was staying with his medium-sized motorcycle. So I was sitting in the back. I think he was intentionally doing some breaks so I could hit him, if you know what I mean. I didn't think too much at that time. He's a bit weird guy because he has a lot of hair. He would do his deal in the hallway like like the whole way, even the whole flat smelled like his deal. Everything was fine. For some reason, things went down. Like he was, I don't know what I did to him. I forgot. And he started to treat me really in a bad attitude. According to my notes, I wrote him a cycle. I remember there was once I wanted to take a shower and I saw the light in the bathroom is on. So I thought someone forgot to turn off the light or I was slowly going and then I just picked because I was afraid there's someone inside. So I picked and he called me like fucking bitch or something because he was pooping without the door closed. Forgot to lock is one thing. It was just wide open and he was pooping and he told me to fuck off. There are 4 rooms in the flat and one of them he's always not there. I think he was living somewhere else. And there's another guy, he's also studying. And this C and me. Before I moved in, there was a girl. And apparently he was always targeting a girl to rent that room short term, so he always find another girl. When I moved in, he told me, "Oh, I cannot give you the room. The girl is still in the room, so you know what? I could offer you my room." That girl wasn't living in few days. I had to stay in his room for a month. I didn't feel so comfortable because it's his room and he smelled and he didn't tell me this. It was until the day I moved my stuff. After a few days, someone rang the bell and I opened it. It was a girl and her friend. She was like, "Are you the new girl? Did you just move in? I'm telling you right now, you have to move out. You have to move out quickly because that guy, he's a jerk." Apparently, this girl, she was supposed to get that room. C offered her the same deal, like, "Oh, you can stay in my room first." And then she moved out. C wouldn't give her back her deposit. So she actually came to the flat and wanted to confront him. We talked a little bit. I think we left each other's contact. I went back to the room, his room, and she was waiting for him outside so she could confront him about her deposit. Because the girl, she could speak Italian, so they were talking in Italian, which I couldn't understand. I heard this big argument and then I heard something like bend the wall. And then it became quiet and nothing. And she texted me and she told me that, "Did you hear what happened? Did you hear there was a noise?" And I said, "Yeah, what happened?" She told me that this guy was furious and refusing to give her back a deposit, and he grabbed her neck and pushed her to the wall. I didn't see anything, but I mean, from she told me in the beginning, she had no reason to lie to me because I didn't know him that well. I don't have to defend him like, oh, you're wrong. He's not like this. So basically, he stole her deposit, 400 euro. I don't think he ever gave her back. Let's just talk a little bit about like small stuff he was doing. He was really angry when I didn't pay the rent on the first day of the month. The whole flat is his because everything in the hallway and in the kitchen apparently is his. The flat smell like he's older or he's stale, and even if you smell really good, your room is full of perfume and still like his smell. And he was always in the kitchen for hours because we don't have a living room and there's just a dining table. And I don't know, why doesn't he use his room? And there was one time I forgot what happened to my curtain. I told him that, oh, there's something wrong with the curtain. So he said, yeah, yeah, I will deal with it. And one day I came home and he told me, oh, yeah, the curtain is fixed. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? I mean, you just entered my room without telling me. It's really creepy. And this little small stuff started to reveal what he's really like. Apparently, he was always targeting a girl to rent that room short term so he could always find another girl. I was going to move out in the end of June, so around May, he was looking for a new tenant to take over my room. One day, I was using the bathroom. Suddenly, two girls showed up. Like, I could hear them talking from the bathroom. C didn't even tell me that someone was coming for the viewing. He just let them in and opened my room and started to let them see my room. And I was like, okay, I feel really uncomfortable for letting people see my room without saying anything. In the beginning, I was hiding a little bit in the bathroom and I was like, I don't know how long it was gonna take. I had to go. I came outside and I pretended that I needed to throw out the trash. So I took the trash and I was waiting downstairs for them to come down to tell them not to rent the room. I made a small mistake because I was talking to them in front of the door downstairs, which is in front of the bell. And I think I was talking to them at least 10-20 minutes about his behavior and not to rent this room. It's gonna be difficult and unpleasant. During the time we were talking, I heard this noise coming from the bell, and I was like, oh no, we were in front of it. He could just pick up the phone and he could hear everything we were talking. I think he did. He was listening to us. So I was like, oh no, let's move inside. Let's talk somewhere else. I just quickly told them that, yeah, don't rent this room. Just find another place. Even if you're in urgent, just don't rent this room. And when I went back up, I saw him just walking back to his room. When I was doing the interview with him, he told me that he's studying and he was 28 years old. And then one day, I forgot if I was in his room or he showed me his ID for something. And I actually saw on his ID he was born in 1975. That was 2016, which made him 40 years old. And he lied to me that he was 28 and he was studying. Can you already see how disgusting this guy is? Why I still didn't move out? He actually didn't give me a contract, but we agreed that I would only rent until the end of June. So I would give him my rent in cash. So actually, we don't know who the landlord is because other guys did the same, give him the money. Because in Italy, register your address, it's not a huge thing like in Germany, super strict. you have to do this right away when you move into a flat or to a city. Actually, for me, when I got my ID, I wrote another address. It feels like he was dealing with everything. It feels like actually he's the landlord, or maybe even own the house or something. So we agreed that I would move out in the end of June. So in June, I didn't pay him anything. I just let him take the money from my deposit. One last story about this guy. I didn't tell him that I was moving out because I already told him at the end of June, and it doesn't matter which date I was going to move out because I'm still paying until the last day. So I just packed my stuff, slowly move my stuff to another flat. After I finished moving, I told him in WhatsApp that I completely moved out. And he replied me with a threat. I have a hard drive which has all my photos. I back up all my stuff in the hard drive. Everybody was young once. In that hard drive, of course, I have some nude photos. Not completely naked, just like wearing bikini or nice underwear photos. Apparently, he went into my room, found my hard drive, and copied my stuff because when he replied me in WhatsApp, he showed me the proof that he had my photos. I mean, I don't know what he wants with my photos. Maybe he wants to masturbate with my photos, and I don't care. And what he wants from me, because I'm already moved out, he doesn't have deposit from me, so I don't owe him anything. But the thing is, he went through my stuff. I asked some people if there's any proof that he plugged my hard drive into his computer, if there's any way that you can see which device was used in this hard drive. Anyway, I don't owe him anything. I completely move out, so he can threaten me what he wants. This Italian guy is really creepy. If he does any of this can make him happy, or he just want to make other people's life miserable, because his behavior is completely nonsense. So that's the end of talking about C, this Italian guy, and we will move on to the next person. See you there!